Hey, hey, hey. I
Hey.
am so excited to be here. This is Questions, Comments, and Rude Remarks. My name is Monica Henderson, and I am your host of this. I'm back, y'all. I'm back. It has been a while since I have been going live on the internet as a talking head, and I am finally back. But I actually am back today, not by myself, but with one of my good friends and one of my favorite people in the world, Miss Nyoka Samuels, who is not only a holistic healer of herself and others, but also my favorite part of the world. Now, she talked all kinds of trash when I posted that on because I didn't tell her I was gonna post that, and she was like, "Party girl," until you catch the other side. But what it is every time Nayoka is in the space with me, she brings so much sunshine and so much joy, and it's always a good time that she's a party. So I thought I'd bring her to you in this experience with me to talk about this topic today. And the rude remark is your triggers are not my problem.
That's Monica's rude remark.
Rude remark, your triggers are not my problem. So, how does that make you feel when someone says your triggers are not my problem?
The today version of me knows that that is so true. The today version of me
Yes.
knows that that is so true. There would be a time my younger self would say, "What? You're the problem. You're triggering me. So you are the problem."
Yes.
But no, my now mature self in my healing of myself first knows that they are all my problems, not the other
Yes.
person that triggered me, right? That's how
Right.
I felt about that.
That's
So
how
when
you
I
feel.
read it, I was like, it's mean, but we know Monica. We
I okay, so some of y'all may know me in lots of different capacities, but I affectionately call myself in the comedian era, I call myself a professional bully because I'm out here in these streets investing. Y'all, I'm a big time investor. And I like to invest my foot in people's assets so that they can live the best life that they want to live. Okay. And so today, and this show, right, is about that, right? It is about kind of like how do we invest uh a loving foot, if you will, in people's lives so that we can actually make this happen. Now, listen, y'all are already chiming in, and just so you know, you don't just get to be on the couch, bro. We get to put you on the screen. So, Vicky said, "Truth sometimes." I'm the problem. Yes, ma'am. And I'd like to say thank you to those of you who are chiming in. Look, we got
Yeah.
Flourish with Fleur. There you go. And we also have Monica Abriana in the house watching. Appreciate y'all. Listen, you're a part of this conversation too. So don't feel like you can't chime in with your own rude remarks, your own questions, or your own comments because you're a part of this conversation too. So, with that said, when I came up with this particular rude remark, it's kind of thinking about like the pulse of how everyone is feels so triggered right now by like everything, right? And how polarized the world is right now. Like you think about any like you say anything, people are like either they're terrified of being canceled or they're like, F it, I'm just gonna go ahead and like
Be
just
canceled.
the hell, right? And there's like this polarization of people who are super sensitive and people who like don't give a f, right? And so this conversation today is about kind of just that, right? If we allow everybody and their mama to control our emotions and to step all over our triggers and to be triggering us on all the things, and yeah, like you are no longer independent person, you are now a slave to the machine, right? Hey,
Mhm.
hey, we're live. Okay, Darcy, I see you.
Hey, Darcy.
So I thought it would be a good idea to have this conversation and just really be honest. Now, truth be told, there is an ulterior motive because yes, I am a comedian and yes, I love to talk ish. And I also love to help motivate people and get them to the next level. This is really a conversation about how we are owning our own lives, right? And when you have ownership of your own life, then you are responsible for said triggers. My triggers are my problem.
Managing them is our job.
Right.
And it's not to say that, um, people were right to create the conditions for these triggers. That's that's not what we're saying. We're saying that it happened. Now what?
Right. Okay, and what you gonna do about it, right?
Yeah.
And so that is really kind of what it is. So those of you who are watching, I need to know how you feel about this concept of your triggers are not my problem. Please drop that in and let us know what you feel. Are your triggers my problem, or are they your problem, or maybe there's a combination of the two?
Now
Drop that in
that is what I love. Is there a combination of the two?
there. Of the two.
Let's go. Is there a combination of the two? Yes. When you are in agreement with other people to walk the same journey in this life together. Okay.
Yes.
So then what we agree to do is sign up to help each other manage our triggers. That's what we
Hmm.
sign up for. When we say, okay, this person is my partner. Okay, I'm going to work for a particular company.
Yes.
Yeah. When we sign all of these agreements or contracts, whether it is in the pen or whether it is in the spirit, we decide that we're going to work together. And if we want to see the other thrive and grow and blossom, guess what? We're going to have to help each other manage the triggers in the most effective way
Yes.
possible.
Listen, your girl Darcy agrees, and she says there is a combination. I agree too, there is a combination, but with that said, it is mostly your job
Yes.
to take care of these triggers. If we're talking percentages, okay, it's a 90-10 split. I could be wrong. Y'all might have a different percentage, but to me, it's a 90-10 split. And here's why I say I know that's controversial, but here's why I say it's a 90-10 split, right?
9, 10.
90-10. It's mostly my responsibility to desensitize my own triggers so that you can't fuck with them. Mostly my responsibility. Okay, Abriana says, I think there's a combination that it's not my fault that other people's triggers, wait, I'm sorry, other
I
people's
don't
triggers.
know.
Oh, wait. By the way, y'all, I like be special with my stuff. So here we go. Okay, so I do think there's a combination that it's my fault that other people's triggers that I don't know about flare up. I'm horrible at reading, y'all, so just get used to it, okay? But it can also be mindful about that in the future. So she's basically saying that it's her if she triggers someone else, it's her fault, but she can be mindful about it in the future. Again, that's your only. I feel
No,
like that's a
it's
10%.
not. She's saying it's not her fault because
It's
she
not her
doesn't
fault.
know.
She doesn't
Listen,
know.
I agree with her. When you're okay, let's say you start a new job, let's say you start a new relationship, until you fully explore who that person is, until you fully dive in and dial in to who that person is, you don't know what triggers them. But
Yes.
I love her saying that she can be mindful. Once she becomes aware, then you can be mindful. Listen, people are married for 20 something years and don't know the other person's triggers.
No,
Okay?
the percentage changes upon becoming aware. Okay, Darcy, that's a perspective. Listen, I love y'all and y'all different perspectives. This is it. Okay, hey, Colleen, way to join us. Listen, if
Hey,
anybody else is out here being silent on the couch and you want to chime in, please do. Look, y'all talking to each other now. That's what y'all doing on my show. Okay, I see how it is. But I I do agree with that. I think Monica Abriana is on to something, right? Where it's like, yeah, once I know, it's my job not to be a jackass and keep triggering you, right? However, I still feel though that 90% of the work lands on me, and that 10% is your job. And once you know, I have a choice to keep messing with you or not.
this is true.
And that's why I say that 90% of my triggers is my responsibility, and only 10% of that is yours.
Oh, but
Because,
there's so much in between that though. There's so let's talk about in between that.
okay, let's talk about it.
How do we position ourselves to really, when you say, all right, we're going to do this together, how do we set the stage to be vulnerable enough to reveal ourselves to each other?
I don't think you necessarily have to reveal yourself to other people in order to do the inner work for yourself, right? I can't change nothing about nobody else. I can change a lot of things about how I respond to other people.
Listen, your 10% that you're saying is the other person, is the other person's responsibility. It's their responsibility to be your mirror and tell you, hey, I saw this, hey, I saw that. Not speaking to it becomes a detriment to each other. It really
Exactly.
is.
Exactly. I can't do 100% of the work myself because sometimes I don't know that I'm being ridiculous or extra or over the top or too sensitive or not sensitive enough or whatever it is, right? I don't know that. So to me, that's where the 10% lies, right? The 90% of that is once it's been pointed out to me, then it's my job to be like, oh, wait a minute. You can control my emotions in that way. No, boo boo. You cannot control my emotions in that way. I'm going to do the work so that you don't have that kind of control over me.
How long should the work take?
It takes as long as it takes. It takes as long as it takes.
And that goes to your point of how long am I going to mess with you
Right.
before I see change, before I feel like this is a developing relationship that is going to thrive? How long when do we check in? Do we give ourselves 3 months? Do we give ourselves 6 months? A year? Like a week? A weekly? How daily? What are our check-ins looking like? Because you can't have progress without checking in.
Right. Right. So like when you were talking about it a little bit earlier, I see all of my relationships in my life, strangers, not strangers, whomever it is, right? I see that as a co-creation for experiences, right?
Yes.
We are co-creating an experience. If you and I are crossing each other on the street and I look over and you, part of that experience is me smiling at you and saying, "Hey, good morning." And the other part is how you respond, right? We're in co-creation of that, right?
Yeah.
The part that I can control is all me saying, "Hey, how you doing?" The other part is how you respond to that, right? And so when we're in that co-creation of any kind of relationship, the exchange with the cashier, the exchange with the person at the gas station, the how we exchange with each other in the car. Y'all know y'all a hot mess out there in them cars with this road raging and stuff, right? So like all of that, right? All of those experiences, I am in co-creation with you. And my choice in co-creation is to show up in love and respect and to not intentionally trigger other people. One, because I don't want that for myself, but two, because I tend to get a better response from other people when I am taking care of myself, when I'm aligned with how I feel, and when I'm like feeling good in my own skin. I tend to get a really good response with people from the outside in. Listen, they chiming in, so I got to make sure I get them on the stage. Look, look, look.
Aubriana said something about 10%.
Yes,
10% and being low key rude. I wanna revisit that. 10% low key gets real complex when people want to be rude though. Like
yes. When they
intentional.
want to be rude, because there are people who out here hurt people, and they out here just thugging out, right? But I like. I'm not saying this just because I'm saying this. Like, I literally walk this walk. When someone's being rude, I always speak to the highest version of themselves, and I go, I know you weren't intending on trying to be rude, and there may be some things that are going on. Um, and I don't, I don't necessarily appreciate the tone, but like, what can I do to bring you some more joy in this experience? What can I
Is that
do
your go-to
to
response?
help?
That's your go-to response?
That's my go-to response, because
I grow up to be like,
de-escalation, because de-escalation is where it's at, right? I can't change you
okay,
if I'm matching your energy. Oh, you doing this? Okay, calm, doing this too. What we doing? Because we're just gonna escalate, 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 right? But if you're like, yeah, 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 and I'm like, whoa, hey, it was not my intention to get you upset. Can we talk through this? That's my go-to response, and 99% of the time it works. 10%, like that 1% of the time, the person is somewhat working in a different dimension anyway, right? Like, they own some other stuff. They're
yeah,
not here present in the moment, in the body where they are right now, and so I don't get that response.
yeah, yeah.
And most of the time it ain't got shit to do with me. It don't have nothing to do with me.
Does it take a pause for you to make how long? All right, let's keep it real. Let's keep it real.
Okay, keep it real, keep it real, keep it real.
Have you always been like this from day one?
No, I was
Okay.
a hot.
Okay, how did that change come about? Who's interviewing who? I'm confused. No, this is a
This is not
conversation.
an interview. We're just chilling. Don't get professional on me now. We are just chilling with our friends, all the people chiming in. Okay. So listen, it took me doing my own inner work, right? And realizing that every time somebody else was rude to me, it had nothing to do with me.
With you.
It had nothing to do with me. I was collateral damage in their bullshit.
So, in the pause of these interactions, in the pause, that could be something that we're saying in our heads, like, this has nothing to do with me. Let me step back and let me say something that is soothing. Let me say something that is nourishing. Let me say something that is nurturing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Because honestly, if we actually show up in like love and compassion, listen, I have had full on, like, I remember, so my Rouse used to have a bar. It was fantastic. We would be drinking in daylight, like in the middle of the aisles. There's a bar. And one Halloween, I was sitting at the bar with my friend. We were kikiing, and there was another guy and another girl sitting next to us. And this guy walks in, full rage, and he like grabs the other dude and picks him up, and he's like shaking him, and he's like, and he's like going off, and I'm like, whoa, whoa, like we were all like, whoa, what's happening? Full rage, okay. I go, sir, excuse me, sir, excuse me, you're in mixed company, and this is inappropriate. And he literally drops the dude, and he goes, I'm sorry, ma'am. And he's like, he's wearing fatigues, but those aren't his fatigues. He was a vet, and he was feeling disrespected by this man who had on his sister's fatigues for Halloween. He was basically triggered by the fact that this man was dressed as, like, was impersonating a soldier, right? But I was speaking to the highest version of him, and it snapped him out of that situation.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes, yes, I definitely see what you're saying. And I'm sure that people can see those opportunities as they reflect. And in seeing the opportunities, then you know how you can move forward the next time it comes around. Because it's all about practice, right?
Practice. It's all about practice, and it starts with you first, right? Like you can't help somebody else escalate their triggers if you ain't started to do your own, right?
Yeah, but
I
don't
know.
judge me either.
I,
If
look, I'm not gonna judge you
right,
if you like go off, right? Like, listen, go off then, okay? That's fine. But
don't
then also,
judge me.
be take full responsibility of the fact that you went off and
Yeah.
what kind of harm there may have been done in that process. I don't have a problem
Yes.
with you expressing, right?
Yes.
Um, express. Wait, our friends are here and I want to make sure that they get their time. Okay, look, so Colleen, first time chiming in fully, said I can change. I think can I change my teachings, coaching style to support the other person, right?
I think I
How
can change.
I think I can change that, right? And then we have, let's see, Miss Flourish out here, this cute little logo. I think progress depends on the person.
Yeah.
Some people need time before they can actually see change.
Yeah.
So, checking in to see if that progress is important.
Very.
Is there more? Is
I
important.
love that. Flourish. Flourish with Fleur. Are you my friend? How I like that. Flourish with Fleur. With Fleur. I need to be your friend.
There you go. And Adriana agrees with that. Exactly. Right. So this is super fun. I want to give y'all last shots for questions. I know a while ago, Adriana asked this question because it is questions, comments, and root remarks. How long should this progress take? Right. For your own self, I need you to give yourself some grace in the practice. Right. Like, it's not going to be every time that you're going to get it right. It's not going to be every time that you're going to be desensitized. Every now and then, someone's going to find that hot button. You're like, wait a minute, I didn't even know that shit was there.
Push.
Y'all, I hate to tell you, but your family members know how to push them buttons faster than
Push.
anybody on earth. them, the people, right? But I think it's going to take some time. It took me lots of time to get to the point where I am now, right? But it was like a consistent desire of mine to not allow any outside influence to have control over my own emotions and to have control over how I interact with the world. Right. So I had a very traumatic childhood. Another time, another topic, another thing. And there were simple things that I was triggered by, like keys in a door, right? Or a garage
Yes. Sounds. The cabinets.
or a garage door going up, right?
Yes.
And it was nobody else's responsibility to identify and really do the work to like have those things not be triggering for me or
Yes.
to expect behavior that happened to me in the past for other people to have that. I really
Talk.
spent a lot of time trying to see people in the present moment as they are right now and to realize that like 90% of their issue is like 90% of what's happening had nothing to do with me. It was just my action that made that visible, right? The landmines are there, right? It's not until someone steps on it do they know exactly where they're at. Even the people who plant those landmines forget where they are,
Yeah.
right? They forget
Ooh,
where
even the people who plant those land. What? My
they're
even the people who plant those landmines forget
forget
where
where
they
they
are.
are.
And you
Yes.
know who remembers? The body of the person who is triggered, the nervous system of the person who is triggered. That's who remembers. Meanwhile, the one that caused the infarct.
Don't even remember. Don't even remember. Anyway, we are almost at the end, and I want to give you an opportunity to share anything that you want to share to the homies watching us right now and chiming in on the chat. Is there any last question, comment, or rude remark you would like to leave with the group?
In this season of a new life cycle that I'm in. You shared with me 47, I'm 47. 47 comes with a lot of changes. It comes with like a new birth, a new
Mm-hmm.
life cycle. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I am truly learning how to give myself grace.
Yes.
We have to do that when we're talking about triggers, working with people, healing. We have to talk about that when we listen, like really deeply listen.
Yes.
Um, so give yourself grace in all the different ways in order to make life more fun, joyful, and sensational.
Yes. I love that.
We want
I,
sensational lives. Yeah.
yes. I truly believe that um, if we all take some time to reflect on like what is triggering us and where how often it's triggered, especially if something keeps coming up. Like I notice every single time someone does this or says that or acts this way, I feel this way. Like taking some time to reflect on and then take ownership of how you respond to it could be a big deal. And so that is my questions, comments, rude remarks. I look, Nyoka, first of all, thank you for being here on the first inaugural episode of questions, comments, rude remarks. It has been a long time since I've been a talking head on the internet, and this has been so much fun. And I also want to thank all of y'all out here in these streets. Look, chiming in, giving your comments. I know I misread them. It's fine. Y'all don't have to give me that right remark. I know that. Look. I am a genius in some things. That's just like reading out loud is not the one. But I do appreciate all of you guys who have chimed in, who have contributed to the conversation. Don't let the conversation stop here. Keep it going. If you have other questions, comments, or rude remarks about triggers, or if you need some support in how to actually take those next steps to diffuse your triggers, your girl Nyoka, I got you. Look, we're here in support of you to make sure that we can leave this world better and that you can live your life healthier, wealthier, and more fulfilled. This has been so much fun. And if you like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment as we can keep this conversation going. I would be back in 2 weeks with a new guest, a new conversation, a new rude remark. I hope you enjoyed this time. We will see you on the flip side. This has been questions, comments, rude remarks. Bye.
Cheers. Inside though.